All right, folks, welcome back. This is Bird in the Hand. This is going to be a short clip. I'm going to be talking today about athletes and why we care about their opinions about the team. Right? All right. So this week, um, the Hawks fired their head coach, and then about a week later, sorry, not a week later, a day later, a bunch of people started coming out saying, like, oh, well, Trae Young and a group of players were the reason why, and they were unhappy with his coaching style and all the rest of it. So, my question is, when did we get to the point where we actually, like, cared what these players really thought about these things? Like, we all know that they have, that they care, right? Obviously, they care who the coach is, and it's very important who their coach is and what's going on. But, like, you never really heard Dennis Rodman complaining about Phil Jackson when Phil Jackson annoyed him. You never heard of any of these things until recently. Like, I'm not saying shut up and dribble because that's not the right thing, and there's plenty of players that are doing a lot for social justice and all the rest of it. But it doesn't make sense to me why we're listening to the, especially after the fact. Like, anybody can play Monday morning quarterback and anybody can, sit there and look and say like, well, we've kind of got a losing record, so therefore, obviously, I'm not a big fan of the coach because we're not realizing our potential. And it's like, well, maybe, you know, maybe just maybe you guys could have done a better job as a team to work within your coach's system in order to make things work. Like, what is it about the coach that especially in basketball, which is a team job? There's five of you, right? It's a team-driven thing. It's one of the few sports in the world where one person can make the whole difference between a winning and a losing team. Just one person, right? That doesn't happen in football. It doesn't happen in baseball. It doesn't happen in soccer. The best player in baseball is Mike Trout, and he plays for the Los Angeles Angels, who, you know, what's their playoff record been with Mike Trout, right? Football, Deshaun Watson led the league in all passing categories last year. How'd that work out for him? Even Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation, won Super Bowl. Drew Brees, one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation, won Super Bowl. Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs of all time. How many Super Bowls? So basketball, it's based off of five people. You're going to tell me that the head coach is the reason? The head coach is the reason why you guys aren't doing good? Come on. Also, not for nothing, but look back at the last few years and tell me the last time, like a seasoned coach was a coach of a winning team. Or sorry, an NBA championship winning team. It's really like Greg Popovich. Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors. He inherited this team, went to the first finals, won, and then a couple years later, obviously we know the history with them. Tyronn Lue with the Cavaliers when he won. First year head coach took over in the middle of the season. It wasn't the coach that did it. It was just the players just got LeBron just went beast mode. Let's be realistic. And Kyrie had a couple of good games mixed in there. So the Hawks are going to have this stupid bounce back for a short period of time now that they've gotten rid of their head coach. But I just, why couldn't you have done it for him? Unless he's going out there, and now he's black head coach, so he's not out there racially abusing these players unless he's doing it to the white people, which is fine. But if you look at the Hawks this year, really, sorry, I said it's fine. It's not fine. Sorry. If you look at the Hawks this year, they've dealt with a ton of injuries. Basically, they went a little all out. They got a bunch of players, and the players that they signed that were going to be the starting five have played one game together all year. Right, so things have gone a little bit poorly. But if you guys all played up to your potential, you guys would have won. Watch them win 3 or 4 games in a row, or have like a nice 10-game stretch where everybody's like, "Well, you see, it was the head coach." Nah, it's not the head coach; it's your personalities. Let's be really, really, really clear on this. I just don't know why we're buying into this anymore. I guess baseball and football, you can see it changing. Whoever the head coach is, the more of an emphasis on the run game, and maybe short passes because that's what that's what works. Or in baseball, the handling of the bullpen, and leaving starting pitchers in for longer, and that sort of stuff. Maybe defensive alignments. I can understand all of that. But this is basketball. You guys need to play. You guys aren't going to get better because your coach is different. You guys are going to get better because you are playing better. And I don't want to hear it. And I really don't want to hear it, the day after it happens either. Why kick a good man when he's down? Now he may never get another head coaching job in the NBA ever. And that's because of you. That's all.